Hey there guys, and welcome back to Hursty Games, and welcome back to Waffle Time with Jack.
Waffle Time.
Waffle Time, and this time we have waffles! So we can actually have Waffle Time and eat waffles. So, if you missed the first part of this, go back and watch it. It's basically me and Jack sitting and talking about stuff. Last episode we talked about the top 100, it was 100 to 51st I think we talked to. We were going to do the other 50, but we thought, it's been a bit late. Everyone who wants to see it has probably now gone and seen them. True. And that's down to us. We didn't have the time during the week to actually meet up and do stuff because we work on like countering schedules, really. So it kind of sucks a little bit. But we still wanted to do this. We had a lot of fun doing it last time, and we kind of spent a lot of time waffling about this kind of stuff anyway, just to each other while we play video games.
Yeah, we do.
We thought we might as well actually sit and do something, and upload it. And if people want to add to our conversations or have questions for us to talk about or things they want to hear us talk about, then go for it, because we love just sitting and chatting. We do that a lot. And Jack's actually been quite productive this week and actually has a small list of things that we are going to talk about. So should we just jump straight into it and just talk about...
Yeah, so overall, top 100's been released and it's actually looking pretty good.
Yeah.
Must admit, some of the cards have been in there. Been a bit of a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
There have been some cards that have been downgraded that are missing from there. Like, for one, well, everyone knows that the demo's been released now.
Yeah.
And one of the players that's missing in there, I feel, is Matic. He's been a huge loss there. He's got downgraded. I mean, for just winning the Premier League, that's been a bit of a strange shocker.
Yeah, I mean, and he was fairly consistent. I mean, Kante obviously was like the consistency of the midfield. But he was, more often than not, he was partnered with Kante, and if he wasn't, then it was Fabregas. But he'd often play, I think he probably played most of the games, at least something. And he was great. And not being funny, he's gone to United, which was a great move for United, because he's been one of the best players in the league so far. I don't care what anyone says. Matic he's been a big difference.
Yeah, because what was that? They conceded 2 goals, and that was in the same game against Stoke.
Yeah.
Which, again, isn't saying that he's bad, but that's just been one game where Stoke have just obviously come in and done something.
And done their job. And I honestly would have given him like an 85 this year, because he's been so consistent for a couple of seasons. And last year was no different. He was so good. And not being funny, I mean, they won the league. Like, he was obviously doing something right.
Yeah.
To be playing that consistently and to be in the team that won the league. And then, he was obviously doing something right.
But if you compare him as well, Fabregas, unchanged, still 86. Kante, he got an upgrade of +5.
+5.
+4.
His upgraded
I think he went to an 83, didn't he? So +4.
Was it 83 or 82?
Yeah, he got an upgrade to it. He was 81.
Either way, he got upgraded a lot.
But yeah, still saying that, Matic was apparently worthy enough to have a downgrade.
Yeah, but and he's not old, is he?
No, not
he's
at all.
In his like mid to late 20s. So you wouldn't say he deserves a downgrade because of age.
No, not at all.
No. But, I mean, I'd say overall the top 100, I mean, you can't dispute too much of it. You know, a large majority, you would say, deserve to be in the top 100. Like I said, a couple of surprises, 100%. A couple of surprises with some of the ratings. I was a bit surprised with Alexandro. I mean, not saying he didn't deserve it, but yeah, but to go that much from an 86, which is an 84, which is already pretty high rated, to jump 3, that's quite.
Did he get an 87? I thought he got an 86.
No, he got a joint with Alaba.
Did he? Oh, fair enough.
And technically he's the best left back in the game, because stats wise he was higher up the top 100. True. So he had more accumulative stats, I believe is how it works. But
True.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then moving on to someone like goalkeepers, I'd now say that De Gea's now come into that bracket to be at least on par with Neuer rating-wise, but he's still 90 rated, I think
90,
he is.
yeah.
He's only just... I think he was number 11, wasn't he? But yeah, and Neuer didn't really play all that much last season because he got injured. Which, again, was a bit of a surprise. Didn't play for Germany. Yeah, I don't think he's still back yet, because he didn't play for the
I don't think he played internationally. I think he should have been, whatever it was, just so the ratings didn't like fly around, he maybe should have been 1 higher than De Gea. So whether that meant he dropped to a 91 or De Gea went to a 91, I think that would have been a bit more of a fair reflection. I also think Courtois should still have been 1 behind De Gea, if not on par. So if De Gea went to a 91, I'd have put Courtois at 90. Because, again, he didn't do much wrong last season. And to win the league.
Yeah.
You know, you can't, and how well Belgium are doing at the moment. You can't even say he's doing bad internationally, because Belgium are flying at the moment.
Yeah, they are.
So you have to say Courtois probably does deserve a bit more credibility, sort of on par with De Gea, almost at times. But one thing, I don't know, I think we talked about this very briefly, obviously off camera, but one thing I really want to talk about is actually the stats of some of these cards.
Oh, now, yeah, of course.
I don't understand how some of these stats are working out, because, for example, you can look at, I'll go with
Kante.
Okay, yeah, we'll use Kante as an example. 87 rated, and I think he's got one stat that is 87 or higher, I think.
No, he doesn't even have a stat that's 85.
Is it not?
He's got 84 defence.
Oh, I thought he had 80. I thought it was.
However, saying that, it's probably going off like their base stat total. So like everything from like standing tackling, slide tackling,
but
and everything, which doesn't seem to be like you say. If their base stat for defending is like 84, and their overall things like stays at an 84 or is lower, then technically their overall rating would be
their overall,
like 83, 82 or something.
Yeah, because the way...
it just doesn't make sense overall.
No, I mean, the way in my head it kind of makes sense, and pace I would maybe ignore a little bit, but then again it depends on the positions and stuff. It's almost like you'd add the 6 together, divide it by 6, and that will give you that average rating. So if you added the 6 together, divided by 6, and that average was 81, you'd imagine the card would be around that kind of rating. So like I said, pace can sometimes be a bit different there, and obviously it depends on the position. So if it's a striker, their defence isn't going to be that high, and it's all of those kind of things. But it just baffles me a little bit when you get some cards that just the stats don't seem to reflect the rating. I mean, in my head that I can think of, and this was back in the beta, so this was back a little while ago. The only card that I actually remembered and thought he had 3 stats that were above his rating, 3 stats that were below his rating was the Inform Renato Sanchez.
True.
That was the only card I can remember that had like 3 and 3, so it was 3 above, 3 below, and that kind of evens itself out because that works with positions. Because say for example,
he was only 78 rated as well.
Yeah, and he had a couple of stats that were like mid to low 80s, and then a couple of stats that were sort of mid 70s. So it worked, and it added itself and evened itself out. But I mean, I don't get all the formulas. I don't understand how all of the ratings and stuff are figured out. But I think from a player's point of view, from someone who plays the game, and that's what I go off of, the stats, to look at it and go, well, he's got 85 shooting, he's got 85 dribbling, he's got 80 pace, but he's 89 rated. It's like, am I going to spend that many coins because he's that high rated? But his stats are the stats that I would look at for like an 85, 86 rated striker. Which is why when you see a card that's like 88, 89 rated and has 88, 89 shooting or 88, 89 physical and defence, you think, wow, what a card.
And then until you can get onto something like foot bin, foot head, or heck, even if you buy the player, you can go in game and check out their individual quality. So shooting will have like finishing, long shots and other bits and pieces like that. Until you actually get to see that, you could see a card that's got like 82 shooting, but his finishing could be like 77. And you could find a guy who's got like 77 shooting, but it will have like 82 finishing.
Yeah. So it can depend, and those in-game stats can make all the difference. But talking of in-game, behind this, there is going to be some gameplay of us actually playing the demo and playing against each other, because we realised that we hadn't really done that.
No, we haven't played the demo against each other yet. Well, I've not even played against a real person on it yet. Just playing the PC.
Yeah, well, you can't on the... Well, yeah, I know what you mean. Obviously, on the beta and stuff, we would have played people, but the game has come on so far since the beta, with the players having actual ratings and stuff now. The gameplay as well feels very different to the beta, and I think that's a good thing, because I think in the beta it felt a little bit sluggish at times, it felt a little bit predictable, especially against the AI, but actually, I'm really, really enjoying this year. I was saying to Jack that it feels very much like FIFA 14, with the way... especially with shooting, which...
Shooting, there is definitely aspects of it now being... Well, there's always been aspects of shooting being overpowered in previous games, and we're now stumbling upon what can be the massive failing of this game. And let's not put it any way other than that. It's going to be a massive failing.
Yeah.
If people get the hang of this, then there's not... You really need to start learning how to defend, because it's now manual defence. You have to really work at it.
Yeah.
And it's not easy in this game. It's really, really not.
No, and you'll probably see from the footage, neither of us are particularly good at it. I mean, attacking-wise, we're both okay, because we kind of know what to expect. And I talked to Jack about things that I picked up on and discovered, and I touched on briefly in one of my other videos. But there are things that you can just utilise. And it's almost like you're taking advantage of the fact defending's harder, which it makes sense, but it also at the same time, the exact same thing's going to happen to you. So unless you're confident and good enough at defending, you're going to struggle. There's no two ways about it. I struggle at defending. And you'll see in some of this, in these games, both of us at times are like, what are we doing? What is going on there? And it just gets frustrating.
And obviously close touch dribbling, if you're very, very confident with that. Like, I played it in FIFA 17 like so many times, like Weekend League. You get people that can just do crazy stuff on the ball, and those sort of people are going to have a field day because they won't really need to worry about playing defensive. But at the same time, it's also going to open up another door for people to part the bus counter-attack, which is going to suck.
Although you say that, I find, and I think we talked about, especially in the first game that we played, my style of FIFA and football every year has always been get the ball up there, shoot. If I get lots of shots, I've got a better chance of scoring. Whereas this year, I build up, and I've never really done that. I've never had the like pass it around, make the space kind of thing, and I find very much that's working for me. And possession is big for me. I would still say counter-attacking is a very viable option, and will very much be a viable option. You'll come up against a lot in the things like Weekend League and Ultimate Team and all this stuff. But I find possession is so crucial this year.
It is. It definitely is. Like you say, you can make a lot more space with passes nowadays. The midfield battle is obviously going to be a crucial one, and you can see in our games that the midfield battle is definitely it's definitely going to be a key feature in the game. So having not necessarily your fastest players, so people like Kante and stuff like that, are not going to be essential as essential as they were last year.
Kante was just everywhere and was probably the best player in the game.
Yeah,
really.
Whereas in this year, you could probably have even though he was quite well used in FIFA 17 when people did use him, someone like Khedira who's got 65 pace or something like that. He'll be able to boss the midfield because of his strength and his passing ability. Because passing is definitely
big.
It's definitely really big in this one. Like whether or not you're playing short drilled passes, long drilled passes, lobbed passes, they need to find their targets, and these players are going to be key. So someone like Modric, who is he
90 something,
or is he 89?
I think he's 90 something.
He's 89. He's got to be 89.
Is he?
I don't think he's in the top 100.
Because Cruz is 90, isn't he?
Maybe.
I can't remember.
Maybe.
You talk about that, I'll find it.
Okay, I'll talk about that. But someone like him who's got very, very good all-round stats. He can shoot from distance. He's good at intercepting, good at defence. His dribbling skills is immaculate. And if you're, like I was saying earlier, if you're good with dribbling, you can find ways out of every situation. It's just going to be so useful. So packing someone like Modric, who will now be very expensive.
And I think it's the kind of card that you will see and you'll think, I really don't want to play against a Modric. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're going to look at it and be like, I don't want to play against Modric. As far as that's great. Just some music playing in the background. But I don't think that people are going to appreciate as early on that the midfielders, are going to be as important and as big as they're going to be. Like, I think you're going to find a lot of people just splash out on money on the strikers and on those kind of players, and I think they're going to shoot themselves in the foot a little bit, if you want my honest opinion. So, I've got Modric on here. He is, I think he's 89. Yeah, he's 89.
89 rated.
Yeah.
But you could still get some decent strikers. Some, like, Harry Kane was well used in midfield last time, who would be very good, like Lukaku. Ibra.
I think Ibra's going to be great this year in midfield.
Yeah. Like these kind of players that are, well, especially someone like Ibra, who's not, like we were saying, the quickest, but he's got decent pace on him. Who can still... Yeah, he's got the physical presence, the strength. I think he's still got a good passing stat.
Yeah.
But, he'll be a very good link-up cam.
Yeah. I'll be interested, actually, because I've got my opinions and thought on this. What do you think this year in Ultimate Team, specifically in, like, competitive, so like Weekend League or qualifiers or all this kind of stuff, what position do you think is going to be the most important?
Honestly, I feel like it's going to be wingers this year.
Yeah.
You need to have some very... Again, it's going to come into a bit of pace for aspect for me. But sort of that counter-attacking play, getting out on the wings, it's going to be the sort of the wingers and fullbacks. You need to have some decent wingers and fullbacks because crossings, like you were saying in one of your previous videos, is now coming back into the game and is being very useful. So to be able to stop that and stop people from cutting inside, those two, 4 positions, your right back, left back, right wing, left wing, those areas are going to be crucial this year.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I agree to the sense that I think wingers will be important, but my position is completely different. I think like your CDM, like your holding midfielder, is going to be your most important position this year. So in regards to, I mean, even if you're not playing a CDM, most people will rock with like a attacking midfielder and they're more defensive midfielder, so they'll have somebody that stays back while attack kind of job. I think that's going to be so crucial this year. So I think, if you're in the Premier League, making a Premier League team, someone like Matic will be so important. If you're in the Cassioe, Matuidi, or your Khedira, or whatever, will be so important. BVA, talking like Casemiro, that kind of player. I think this year, that's going to be so crucial because defence is manual and because a lot of people are going to be pushing, I think, the midfield sort of possession battle, but also counter-attacking. I think that player that's your extra man, essentially, at the back, I think he's going to be so vital. I found in the demo so far, the games that we've been playing, like I said, my build-up being so different, that they also help with building attacks. Like, if you're willing to be that bit more patient and build the play a little bit, then as long as you've got someone with a decent passing stat, so actually someone like Matic would probably be ideal, then you're on a good basis to like pick up the ball, win the ball with that player, and then make something. And I think that's going to be big this year. I think that really will be big.
Yeah, I can see that. I can, like, as going along with that, I can also still see the part of the bus tactic still being used quite often. So maybe with that might cause people to sort of leave that, well, not leave that CDM role, but will sort of push out a little bit. They'll use the 3-man sort of midfield and still sort of break. But like you were saying, having that sort of physical presence and that sort of person that will be there to sort of break up play. But we've seen from custom tactics in FIFA 17 that might still not be as much of an issue as you might be thinking.
Yeah, but I just think that from that position this year, you can create both great defensive chances and you can create the attacking chances you're probably wanting. So I just think that position this year will be your middle ground, which it should be, being in centre mid and the midfield, that middle ground between I'm defending, wait, get back, to I'm building something, let's get it up. And I think that position will be so important to make sure you've got a good player this year.
Indeed.
But I do agree with the wingers, actually. I had not quite thought through the fact that wingers would be as big as I said they were going to be.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Especially if you could get someone like, maybe if EA decide to do it, like you can get some like key position changer cards. Like they're not going to be like released like striker to right mid or something like that. That would never happen.
That'd be insane. That'd break the game.
That would break the game. But if they did some sort of like in real life things when they do the upgrades, so like you could get like a right wing Griezmann.
Because he does play right wing sometimes.
So, and if that became like a base card, like didn't they do that in like FIFA 16?
They did it a couple of years ago when they did
a striker Ronaldo. Yeah, it was
the
FIFA
upgrades
16.
and stuff.
Yeah.
But then they also did position changes.
They did a position change for like 2 weeks and they swapped them back over. So like Ronaldo got a striker card, Alaba got a CDM card. Yeah. So if they did that,
the CDM card was so good.
It was really nice.
Was so good.
But if they did that, so you could get like a right wing Griezmann, or if who else is there? Someone like Son. Son could move into a striker position. Yeah. I know they do that with like their informs, depending on where they play in real life. But if they release like a
more affordable version, then
that would be pretty good. And like I said, it can come into effect in the transfer market because it'll push prices up and stuff like that.
I just think they need to keep this year more. They need to keep the game relevant because they've been able to ride on the fact that people will buy packs, people will play the game and try and qualify for weekend league and this, that, and the other. And I think they just need to they need to be willing to branch out and not just sit on their laurels.
Well, I think they sort of have done because I'm sure you've seen other YouTubers that have been to the capture event.
Yeah.
Like we've experienced it from the beta as well. But the like daily objectives. But to be fair, the rewards for doing them weren't
that great. No.
Well, at least they weren't in the beta. But it's like one of the objectives for me was like go and score 5 goals for the Bundesliga player for that day. or a Bundesliga striker or a German Bundesliga striker.
Yeah.
So obviously, it's not going to affect the transfer market too much because when I had that, you had something completely different. But so in that sort of sense, it will keep the market sort of fresh because people will still be going out and looking for this Bundesliga player, or someone else will be going and looking for this, like I don't know,
like a Serie A winger or something.
Exactly.
Like, it happens.
Exactly. So that's going to keep the game sort of fresh on a daily basis. But at the same time, it's just going to be like people will settle into their weekend league teams.
Yeah.
Like, people that are consistently getting top 100, they won't really care because they'll be like, well, I'll be getting a lot more coins if I work with this team, and then I can go out, get 32 wins and get like 100k for doing this instead of buying a player for 1,000 coins, scoring 5 goals with him and getting 1,000 coins back.
Yeah, and it wasn't. I mean, I don't think I even got that. There was one more I had to get. It was 5 headers, like 5 headed goals in the day with Spanish La Liga striker. That's so specific to have to go make sure he's Spanish, make sure he's from the Spanish league, and to score headers with him. I was like, that's quite a specific task I've been given. So I was like, I'll do that because I'll probably get something. I got like 250 coins.
Something that I probably wanted to try. Well, not wanted to try at the time, but something that I really want to have a look at now. Do you remember when I got that objective where it was like I had to spend 75,000 coins on one player on the transfer market? Do you remember me getting that?
Yeah.
But I really want to see what the reward was for that. But because the others have been so bad, it's like, I don't want to go and spend 75,000 coins on a player and then... I've got this player and then I get like 1,000 coins back.
Yeah. It was like spend 75,000 coins on an item on the transfer market. And it's like, like you said, it's sure, great, I've got this cool player, which you might not necessarily have gone and bought otherwise, but the reward's got to be worth it. For them to make you invest that many coins. Say, for example, you're somebody that can't put money on for FIFA points and you can't commit to the weekend league, or maybe you don't always qualify into the weekend league. You can't afford to go and spend 75,000 coins on a daily objective that doesn't pay out. You simply can't afford it. Like, it's not realistic, and I think they need to keep it realistic.
In theory, if you were spending 75,000 coins on a player, and at the end of it, you knew you were getting a 25k, I think it's premium gold players,
or whatever,
would you say that would be worth it, depending on the chance of the player that you could get back in return for that player, as well as the fact that you could then resell that player for 75k?
I mean, in that sense...
Or would you say EA are losing money on that, because at the same time, that person could be packing a player worth
200-300k or whatever. But I mean, that's the thing. That's the thing. If you
that will go back into coins being back on the transfer market. It will be again more players on the transfer market potentially.
But I mean, it's one of those things where packs is always going to be luck. Like there is never a guarantee in packs. Like as an example, when we did the you had to do the 6 SBCs to get the guaranteed team of the season pack, right?
Yeah.
There was no guarantee that we were going to get a good team of the season. There was no guarantee that we were going to get more than one team of the season. But it was the thought, we were both like, it's a team of the season, and we were happy to say, we're going to pack a team of the season. It didn't matter who it was, we thought, let's do it. So we committed to that. It probably cost us, what, like 40k altogether?
Well, I wouldn't have even said that, because those were pretty damn cheap.
They were cheap. Like, a lot of them were like silver players or bronze players, and the only reason it would have got expensive is if they were players that were hard to get hold of. And actually,
or if they made them like specific, like you need a player from this
club or whatever,
and then those prices would inflate.
But they were very open.
They were very general.
So I mean, it made it nice and easy for you. But it's always going to be that risk reward. That I think is a big part of FIFA, and it's never really going to go unless they get rid of packs, which they're never going to do because they make so much money from them. And us being 2 examples, people are suckers for packs. People are suckers for the chance to get their Ronaldo, or for us, luckily, thankfully, on PS4 this year, icons.
Oh, wow. Actually, speaking of it, let's move on to a different topic for a change.
Go for it.
First team of the week will be out on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Along with the web app.
Yeah.
Aguero
could. He got, what, 2 goals and an assist?
3 goals.
Was it? He got a hat-trick, didn't he? Of course he did. Probably.
So that would be...
Mertens, I think, got a hat-trick.
Dybala got a hat-trick.
Lewandowski got 2 goals and I think an assist. Kimmich, by the way, don't know if people saw, I think got 4 assists in the Bayern Munich game. 4 assists. That's mad. So he'll get an informed right back card. So that'll be cool.
Well, he's right back general now, isn't he?
Yeah. But I mean, he'll get. That's where it'll be. Because I'm pretty sure that's where he played. But I think the first team of the week is going to be insane. And like you said, on the release of the web app. So if anyone's lucky enough to pack something like that, keep it.
Keep hold of it
for that release day.
Until the coins come into the market.
Yeah.
Which I'd probably say, even if you get the Ronaldo or Icon edition, keep hold of them anyway until at least a Friday.
I would probably say keep it until general release. There'll be a few exceptions.
Well, don't forget, general release is the same time when Ones to Watches are being released. They'll be out at 6 o'clock on that day. I'm pretty sure.
So if you get a copy of
if you get
a One to Watch player, also keep them because when
their
they'll be
price
extinct,
will go up.
So
their price will go up.
That'd be cool. But I think that's probably around everything that we were going to talk about today, if I'm honest with you. We've kind of also waffled a bit more about other stuff, but that's kind of the point of the video. So hopefully you've enjoyed this.
Indeed.
We just like talking a lot, so we do it. That's literally the whole premise of this video.
And we could have kept going.
We could have kept going.
We still got many bullet points to go through.
If my camera didn't have like a sort of half-hour cut-off point where if you film for over half hour, it literally just stops the video. It just cuts it there and then. We would probably do like 2 hour long videos on this.
Yeah.
But if you want to see that kind of thing, let us know, because it will just be we do it without face cam. So please do let us know. We can also at some time we can maybe do like live stream versions of this where you guys ask us questions, and also we can still keep these kind of things. We're probably going to do this probably like once a week.
Yeah, not sort of like Mondays and stuff like that.
Yeah. I'm also going to use this very quick bit at the end of the video just to also explain. I have got a job at the moment which will be running over the Christmas period. As some of you might know, I do acting, and I've actually got into a professional show, and so for that time period over Christmas, the uploads I can't guarantee will be as frequent as I plan on them being up to that point. So for the next couple of months, I'm trying to do them sort of 5 a week, and for that month, it might be a little bit less than that. So I just want to voice that now, so people know. But off of that down point, I want to say thank you, Jack, for coming.
Indeed,
and for bringing waffles. That was great. That was a nice surprise. But
waffle time.
We can't have waffle time without waffles. I should have called it like pancake time, but that's not the point. Doesn't make sense. I've had a lot of fun. Hopefully you have as well.
I have,
and hopefully you guys have too. So for now, guys, I'm gonna say thank you for watching, and I'll see you all soon. Look after yourselves.